Hello, guys. Welcome to today's class. Thank you very much for being on time. So, as usual, I'm going to ask to each and every one of you to turn on your cameras so we can start with today's class. Thank you, Mercedes. Thank you, Rosa. Paulo, Alan, Ángeles, Daniela, thank you very much. Lucila, Emmanuel, Elizabeth, Wendy, Jose. Okay, so all of you are joining the session with your cameras on, which for me, it's always amazing news. Okay, so I'm going to ask the remaining students to turn on your cameras. Okay, so before we start with the actual class, I have some really important announcements. So I'm going to ask to be really careful and listen to all of the instructions that I'm about to say, okay? I'm going to tell you this before I pass the attendance. I'm going to wait 1 more minute until the remaining students turn on your cameras. Ok, Aira Alvarado, Alison Toala, Denise Segovia, please, I need your cameras on so we can start with today's activities. Okay, guys. So the first thing, right? I have received some texts that some of you miss this activity, right? Even though right here you have that the closing of this activity is March 4 at 8 p.m. You also have the information right here, okay? So you need to be more careful regarding the deadlines, okay? Tienen que tener un poco más de cuidado en cuanto a los tiempos límites para que no pierdan puntos, porque una vez que se cierra la actividad, ya no pueden ingresar esto y van a perder puntos, ¿ok? So, only for this time, I'm going to reopen the activity until 10 p.m. Okay, so if you was not able to upload the activity, you are going to be able to upload it until 10 p.m. Okay, only for this time. But please, my suggestion is that do not miss the deadlines. And please check always the dates, ¿ok? Siempre fíjense en los tiempos. Solo por esta ocasión voy a abrirla hasta las 10 para que puedan, los que no han subido por algún motivo y no se fijaron en la fecha y no lo pudieron hacer, lo puedan hacer, ¿ok? Only this time. Okay.
Hasta las 10 de la mañana, Miss.
Yes. Correct.
Miss, a mí no me sale el My Last Birthday. No encontraba igual para hacer la actividad.
That is on Unit 2C. I specifically explained this on last class. Está en la unidad 12 al final. So let me show you, Paulo, where you can find this. Okay. So probably the scenario that Paulo is going through is the same scenario that somebody else is going through. Okay, so I'm going to give you until 2, okay? But this is gonna be the last time, please. La última vez, simplemente no quiero afectarlos porque son actividades que las pueden cumplir, pero a veces creo que no estamos prestando atención y se nos pasan las cosas, ¿ok? So where you can find this activity? Let me tell you. So right here, if you go in the unit, right? You go unit 2A, 2B, right here, unit 2C. You click on the unit and you scroll down. Keep scrolling down, keep scrolling down. And at the very end of the unit, you have the activity right here, my last birthday, okay? Please let me know if somebody's having trouble into finding this activity. Alguien no ha podido encontrarla a pesar de que les he estado dando esta explicación. Okay, so we are going to move, okay? Remember that we are still working on Unit 2C, right? We just covered a couple of activities. We have to still work on this activity right here, okay? And another thing, if you are not understanding something, please let me know so I can explain with more detail, okay? It is my job, it is my duty that you understand and you got all of the things I'm saying. Okay. Now, the next thing I have to mention is this. We are almost going into week number 4, right? So I have to tell you that you have until, let me just double check. You have until March 12th to complete your Alticia activities at 50%, okay? Les he extendido para que puedan completar hasta el 12 de marzo sus actividades de la plataforma de Alticia al 50%, okay? March 12th, so please, you need to have at least 50% on your Alticia platform on March 12th, okay? Any questions about this? ¿Alguna pregunta sobre esto? Okay, just a friendly reminder. You need to choose Alticia A2 on the platform, okay? That is the level that you need to choose. I'm going to recheck this with you guys so we can all be on the same page. Remember, right here, you need to choose this one right here. This is the one that you have to complete, okay? So right here, you are going to be able to choose. This is the one that you need to complete. A2, no A1, minus N1, no, or B1, A2, okay? Okay, any other questions before I start passing the attendance? Okay, so I'm going to start passing today attendance. And I'm going to ask to Michael Tigre. Okay, thank you very much, Michael, for turning on your camera. Okay, just as usual, I'm gonna start telling you this basic information. I know that I repeat this all the time, but so in this case, we can all be on the same page, okay? Remember that our classes are on Tuesdays and Thursdays, okay? From 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. And we have 8 weeks of classes, okay? Right here in this file, you can check your percentage attendance that you need to fulfill at least 70% to pass, to approve this level. You can access to this in your Moodle platform in class resources. You can check it right here, the second class resources, okay? And if you go right here, you are seeing the ones that you have attend, the ones that you have missed, and the percentage of your attendance. Okay, now I'm gonna start passing the attendance, and whenever you hear your name, please avoid present. This is an Spanish thing, okay? We can go either with here, good morning. You can either go with hi. So I'm going to hide this so I can see better your names on the list. Now, let's start with Alan Acuña.
Good morning.
Good morning, Alan. Steven Alvarado.
Here, miss. Good morning.
Good morning, Steven. Camila Baque.
Here, good morning.
Good morning, Camila. Iskra Bermúdez.
Here, good morning.
Good morning, Iskra. Elizabeth Cambisaca.
Good morning, Miss.
Good
Yeah.
morning, Elizabeth. David Carvajal. David Carvajal. Cristel Cepeda.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Cristel. Saray Cerezo.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Saray. Mercedes Correa.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Mercedes. Jelliver Cruz.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Jelliver. Rosa Kunishpuma.
Here, Miss.
Thank you, Rosa. Luis Echeverría.
Good morning, miss.
Good morning, Luis. Iván Ganchoso.
Good morning, miss.
Good morning, Iván. Ileana García.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Ileana. Mauricio Garzón.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mauricio. Evelyn Guamán.
Good morning.
Good morning, Evelyn. Mateo Jiménez.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Mateo. Wendy López.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Wendy. Maylin López.
Good morning.
Good morning, Maylin. María de Los Ángeles Cedeño.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, María de Los Ángeles. Valentina Minda. Valentina Minda. Wilmer Miranda.
Good morning.
Good morning, Wilmer. Dalton Moreno.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Dalton. John Navas.
Here, miss.
Thank you, John. Miguel Padilla.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Miguel. José Payasco.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, José. Giancarlos Pérez.
Good morning.
Good morning, Giancarlos. Verónica Pinargote.
Good morning, teacher.
Morning, Verónica. Valeria Kishpi.
Good morning, Miss.
Morning, Valeria. Ángel Reyes.
Here, Miss.
Thank you, Ángel. Dayanara Rosero.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Dayanara. Denise Segovia.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Denise. Okay, Steven texted me before. Blanca Solano.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Blanca. Helen Solís. Helen Solís. Michael Tigreros. Michael Tigreros.
Good morning, Miss.
Thank you, Michael. Alison Toala.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Alison. Genesis Toledo.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Genesis. José Velasco.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, José. Daniela Viteri.
Good morning.
Good morning, Daniela. Paulo Zambrano.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Paulo. Ángeles Zambrano.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Ángeles. And finally, Josué Saraus.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Ronaldo. So as usual, I'm gonna do a roll call. So if anybody was missing the first time, let me know. David Carvajal. Valentina Minda. Helen Solís. Okay, guys. So let's continue with the content of our class. Okay, so last class, we were discussing about past progressive, right? That was the grammar topic on the last class on Thursday, last Thursday. So let me find the section where we were supposed to check it, the content. Let me just move right here, right here. So this is the grammar content that we were covering on last class, right? And we were on unit 2C, this one right here. And let me open our book. Okay, I'm sorry. We were actually on unit 2B. That is the unit that we were supposed to cover, right? We checked this reading paragraph, right? And we also check the prepositions right here. And right now we have to start covering Unit 2C, okay? This is what we are going to cover right now. So right here in this unit, we have the grammar section that we are supposed to cover, and it's time sequencers and connectors. So this is really important. So whenever you want to write in a proper way, it makes sense, right? So we're gonna check more in detail this, even though that we did cover this on last class. Also, we are going to check into the vocabulary section, verb phrases. Remember that I told you that verb phrases are these verbs that usually they are really common in the day-to-day use in English, such as drink water, walk in the park, right? All of those are verb phrases. And also, we are going to check in pronunciation word stress. So, Paulo Zambrano, can you please read the title of Unit 2C? Paulo Zambrano?
Leo, Miss.
Yes, the title.
One dark October evening.
Thank you very much, Paulo. So we have one dark October evening, right? Whenever we say October, we are referring to the month, right? We have January, February, March, and so on, right? We have June, July, and October, okay? And evening, it's morning. We also have afternoon, and we have evening, okay? So that's what we are referring on this title. Now, I'm going to ask to Alan Acuña. Alan, can you please read the green bubble? This one right here. I'm sorry, let me. Okay, right there. This one right here. Alan?
Why she was going very fast? Because she was in a hurry.
Thank you very much, Alan, for your help. So right here, take a look. Take a look on the structure of this question. Why was she going very fast? And right here we are answering because she was in a hurry, right? Whenever we say in a hurry, is that we need to be in some place. Hurry up, apúrate, right? She was in a hurry. So let's go to the very first activity on this unit. So right here, we are going to click on the first activity, grammar, time sequencers, and connectors. We are going to check activity 1A. Listen to the story and check. Always remember this, guys, okay? Give me a second because I'm going to make longer the time in the activity. Okay, let's take a look. So Elizabeth Cambisaka, can you please read the instruction?
Read the story once, then complete it with a word or paragraph from the box. Listen to the story and check.
Great pronunciation, Elizabeth. Thank you very much. So before we do any activity, guys, not only in English class, but also in math, in chemistry, in any kind of subject, you need to understand the instruction, right? So let's reread the instruction. We have read the story once, right? No 11, once. Elizabeth pronounced this correctly because we have, let me go right here. So you have once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, right? And so on. So once is that you do this only 1 time. Twice is that you do this twice, right? 2 times. So this is 1 time, right? Twice, 3 times, and so on, okay? So the instruction says that we need to read the story once, and then, notice this, then complete it with a word or phrase from the box. These are the box right here. And then we have to listen to the story and check. So first of all, we need to read it, and then I'm going to play the audio so you can check if those answers are correct. So do I have any volunteer for the reading part? Only the reading. You don't need to complete the activity. Alguien que quiera leer, no necesitamos todavía completar. Amazing. Mateo, so let's go with you, okay? Let's read it from Hannah until I'm going to ask, because this is long, give me a second. Okay, so you are going to read, Mateo, from Hannah until for her, okay?
Okay. Hannah met Jamie in the summer of 2010. It was Hannah's 21st birthday, and she and her friends went to a club. They wanted to dance, but they didn't like the music. So Hannah went to speak to the DJ. This music is awful, she said. Cool. She said, could you play something else? The DJ looked at her and said, don't worry, I have the perfect song for you. He said, the next song is by Scouting for girls. It's called Blue as Your Eyes, and it's for a beautiful girl who's dancing over there. Hannah knew that. The song was for her.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Mateo. So I'm going to tell you how you can improve the pronunciation, okay? So don't take this in the wrong way. This is only to make you better, okay? Cuando les hago alguna corrección, no crean que es como que no, la mía me está sacando mis errores, no, sino que es para poder mejorar, okay? So right here, this word, right, the pronunciation of this word, I'm going to tell you which one is it. So this one right here is the present, well, is the infinitive or the V1 form of the verb, meets, right? Conocer, la forma infinitiva. But this one right here, the one that we have right here, it's the past tense, or also known as V2. So this one is met, met. This one right here, whenever you see 2 E's, is meet. This one right here is just as you are reading this, okay? So let me, there you go. So meet and met, okay? Now, the next thing, and this is the last one because Mateo did a really good job, is this one right here, okay? So we have, let me go right here. So Hannah's, right? And right here, notice something. We have like this, right? So basically it's telling us that is 21st, right? 21st. 21st birthday. This ending is telling us that it's no 21, but 21st birthday. Como que está cumpliendo sus 21 años, que ustedes dicen Miss, pero nosotros en español decimos 21, no decimos 21º ni nada así. Ok, eso es en español. Pero en inglés, cuando nos ponen así, nos están hablando de un cumpleaños, lo decimos en números ordinales, ¿verdad? 21st birthday. It will be the same thing if you will say 22nd birthday. So in this case will be 22nd birthday, okay? And so on. So that is the only thing that I need to mention in order to move on. Great job, Mateo. I really appreciate your help. So do I have any volunteer for the next part? Remember, you can practice right here, reading. So I invite each of you to raise your hand and you can actually practice this. And if you need to improve into the pronunciation, I can help you with it. Amazing. Daniela, you are going to read from Hannah and her friends until, let's see, until they were madly in love, okay? So let's move on, Daniela.
Hannah and her friends left the club. The DJ was waiting for her at the door. Hi, I'm Jamie, he said to Hannah. Can I see you again? So Hannah gave him her phone number. Jamie phoned Hannah and invited her to dinner. He took her to a very romantic French restaurant, and they talked all evening. Although the food wasn't very good, they had a wonderful time. Jamie and Hannah saw each other every evening. When Hannah finished work, they met at 5:30 in a coffee bar.
Okay, I'm back. I think that something was wrong with my internet connection. Give me a second, please. Voy a dejar de compartir un momento mi pantalla para poder chequear mi conexión. Denme un minuto, por favor. Okay. Now I'm back, I'm all set, so I'm gonna start sharing my screen once again. And I don't have any suggestion for Daniela. You did a really good job, okay? Probably the only thing that I could suggest, ¿verdad? Quizás lo único que podría como que sugerirle a Daniela, que no es que lo hizo excelente, but right here, we have this very bad habit, right? Because in Spanish, we say restaurante, right? So in English, we think that we pronounce this restaurant, right? And we don't do it like this. It's going to be like faster. The right pronunciation is restaurant, like 2 syllables, okay? No restaurant, but restaurant, okay? That is the only thing, but besides that, amazing job, Daniel. Now, let's have another volunteer, Dayanara. Okay, let's go with Dayanara. So we are right here. You're gonna start with Hannah was at work, and then you are going to read the remaining text, okay?
Hannah was at work as usual. She was going to meet Jamie at 5 Half, dijo que se llamaba, Miss. La media hora.
Yes, you can say 5:30, or you can also say, I mean, let's go just with 5:30.
Yeah. It was dark and it was raining. She looked at her watch. It was 5:20. She was going to be late. She ran to her car and got in. At 5:25, she was driving along the high street. She was going very fast because she was in a hurry. A man ran across the road. He was wearing a dark coat, so Hannah didn't see him at first. Quickly, she put her foot on the brake.
Okay, amazing job. Thank you very much, Dayanara. And about the time, ¿verdad? Sobre la pregunta que hizo justamente Dayanara. Hay varias maneras de decir la hora en inglés y sobre todo en inglés británico, ¿verdad? Eso sería un punto totalmente aparte para toparlo. Si desean, yo les puedo dar como información sobre al respecto. No es tan difícil, pero let's tell you about it, right? So right here we have 5. You can either say, right, 5:30, right? That is the American way. That is the most common way. Or you can also say half, right? Like this, past 5. Okay, both ways are correct. This is the British way, and this is the American way. So it will be similar, for example, for this one right here. In this case, you can either say 5:20, or you can either say 20 past 5, okay? Both of them are correct, okay? So if you want to go with this one right here that I consider is the easier one, go with that one. But if you prefer to sound more British or more eloquent, more fancy, go with this one right here, okay? So now, we are almost running out of time. So right here that we already heard the paragraph, we have all of these time connectors and sequencers. We have next day, suddenly, when, 2 minutes later, after that, one evening in October. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes so you can check which one of these terms, which one of these words or phrases belong to each of these gaps, okay? Take a look. Whenever this hits 4, we are going to check the answers, okay? So you are going to have 2 minutes. Go ahead. Okay, so do I have any volunteer for the first gap? We have Don't Worry, I have the perfect song for you, and then we have this first gap. So Rosa con espuma, according to you, which one is the word or phrase?
2 minutes.
2 minutes later.
2 minutes later.
Yes, correct. 2 minutes later. Great pronunciation, right? We have Don't Worry, I have the perfect song for you. 2 minutes later, he said, the next song is by Scout. Great job, Rosa. Let's continue with the next one. Let's see, I have many volunteers. Amazing. So Ivan Ganchoso, what about the next one?
The next one is when.
When Hannah and her friends left the club. Correct. So I forgot to tell you, 2 minutes later, 2 minutos después. This one right here, when, cuando, okay? But in this case, when, cuando, utilizado de manera de oración, no de pregunta. So let's see the next one. Maylene Lopez, what about the next gap?
Next day.
Next day, correct. Next day, al siguiente día. So you can either say next month, you can either say next year, you can either say next Monday, right? You can use this expression with any month, any week, any day week. Okay, so we have any next day. Now, let's continue with the next gap. Jose Velasco.
After that.
After that, correct. Después de eso, after that, Jamie and Hannah saw each other every day. Then, let's go with the next one. Do I have any volunteer for the next one? Rosa con espuma, once again, let's go with you.
One evening in October.
Correct. Great pronunciation. One evening in October. Great job. Thank you very much, Rosa. And we have the last one, of course, is the one that is left. So anyone that can tell me the last one? Okay, so is this one right here, right? So the pronunciation will be suddenly, de repente, suddenly. Okay, so this is about to finish, right? But let's wait for the activity to close so we can play the audio and we can follow the reading part following the audio. Okay, so it's almost coming to the end. Okay, so now it's closed. And we can check the listening with the audio. So please, I'm going to play the audio and follow all of the pattern.
1.45. Hannah met Jamie in the summer of 2010. It was Hannah's 21st birthday, and she and her friends went to a club. They wanted to dance, but they didn't like the music, so Hannah went to speak to the DJ.
This music is awful,
She said.
Could you play something else?
The DJ looked at her and said,
Don't worry, I have the perfect song for you.
2 minutes later, he said,
The next song is by Scouting for Girls. It's called Blue as Your Eyes, and it's for a beautiful girl who's dancing over there.
Hannah knew that the song was for her. When Hannah and her friends left the club, the DJ was waiting for her at the door.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
He said to Hannah.
Can I see you again?
So Hannah gave him her phone number. Next day, Jamie phoned Hannah and invited her to dinner. He took her to a very romantic French restaurant and they talked all evening.
Did he really?
Yeah, but you were throwing some amazing shapes though. I mean, I just couldn't stop looking at you.
Oh, shut up.
Although the food wasn't very good, they had a wonderful time. After that, Jamie and Hannah saw each other every day. Every evening when Hannah finished work, they met at 5:30 in a coffee bar in the high street. They were madly in love. One evening in October, Hannah was at work. As usual, she was going to meet Jamie at 5:30. It was dark and it was raining. She looked at her watch. It was 5:20. She was going to be late. She ran to her car and got in. At 5:25, she was driving along the high street. She was going very fast because she was in a hurry. Suddenly, a man ran across the road. He was wearing a dark coat, so Hannah didn't see him at first. Quickly, she put her foot on the brake.
Okay, so that was the story, right? Now let's move on into the next activity. But before we do that, just check some of the expressions that we have been using in this paragraph, right? We have 2 minutes later. We also have when, next day, after that, and suddenly. So all of these are time connectors and sequencers that basically they are going to allow us to make sense into our writing. Entonces, todos estos son como conectores, ¿verdad? Si no los usáramos, esto no tendría tanto sentido. Entonces, cuando los usamos, le dan un mejor sentido, un mejor, como que un mejor entendimiento a lo que queremos decir, right? So we were checking this actually before. Remember that we were, I'm sorry, right here. Right? We have all of these connectors and you also have these time sequencers that basically, as you have it right here, these are an additional ones, ¿verdad? Aquí hay unos adicionales, pero obviamente no es que los vamos a aprender de memoria así en un momento, sino que los vamos a ir descubriendo poco a poco, okay? Now, let's go into the next activity. We are done with that one. And let's go with activity 1C, this one right here. From memory, complete these sentences from the story with so, because, or although. Then check with the story. Okay, so the connectors right here are so, because, and although. I'm going to change the time so you can have more time as usual. Okay, so the 3 possible options once again are because, so, and although. Remember that if you go to your class notes, you have in the case of although, you use to express contrast. In the case of so, it's like consequence on results. And well, right here, you don't have, right here you have because as well, right? It's to express reason or explain it. So please take a look on each of the sentences. And after that, complete the gaps so you can tell me your answers, okay? Let's have 1 minute to do this, and then if I have any volunteer, you are going to raise your hand. Okay, do I have any volunteer for number 1? We have Dayanara. Could you please read the whole sentence and also add in the answer right here?
Yes, she was going very fast because she was in a hurry.
Correct. So in this case, we're using because we are given a reason, right? We're telling that the reason that she was going in very fast, it's because of this. This is the reason, right? Great job. Now let's continue with Denise Segovia, number 2.
Although the food was very good, they had a wonderful time.
Correct. We have, I'm sorry, we are right here. Although the food wasn't very good, they had a wonderful time. Remember, this is to express contrast. I have something good, but something bad happens. I have something bad, but in all of that bad situation, something good comes from it, okay? Para expresar contraste. A pesar de algo malo, existe algo bueno. O a pesar de que todo salió bien, hay algo malo. All thought, that is the pronunciation. All thought. Now, of course, the last one, it's going to be so, and I'm going to ask Ángeles Zambrano, can you please read number 3?
He was wearing a dark coat, so Hannah did not see him at first.
Correct. Thank you, Ángeles. So right here we have, he was wearing a dark coat, so Hannah didn't see him at first. So in this case, we are expressing sequence, right? The first, this happened, then this happened, right? Una secuencia. Como sucedió esto, esta es la consecuencia de este primer hecho. So in these cases, you have all of the correct answers. Great job, guys. Do not forget to save the activity so we can move on into the next one. And right now, we are going to move into the next activity. This one right here. Grammar 1A. Put the sentences in the right order. Okay, so as usual, remember that you need to understand the instruction. You need to understand what you are being asked for in the activity. So I'm going to ask to John Navas. John, can you please read the instruction?
Put the sentence in the right order.
Correct. Thank you, John. So we have 8 sentences, right? So our thing is that we need to put them in the right order from 1 to 8. Okay, so you need to basically understand what is happening in each of these sentences. So let's just read it first. Okay, vamos a leerlas primero and then we are going to try to find the correct order. So Dalton Moreno, can you please read the first one?
He told me he was a policeman and that they were looking for a thief.
Correct. Thank you very much, Dalton. So notice something, guys. Right here, we're talking about somebody, right? He told me that he was a policeman. So I don't think that this is number 1 because we need to have like a proper beginning, ¿verdad? Aquí como que ya me está diciendo algo ya empezado. Entonces como que no tiene cara de ser la número 1 porque debería haber un inicio apropiado, right? So let's just continue reading. Evelyn Guaman. I'm not able to see your face, Evelyn. Do you think that you can probably put your camera down so I can see your face? Thank you very much, Evelyn. Can you please read this one right here?
Then another man tried to do the same.
Correct. Thank you very much, Evelyn. So that was the next one. Sarai, the next one, please.
One day in
2011.
2011, I was standing in the
Queue
for a bus.
A bus, correct. I'm going to tell you about this word, right? I don't know if probably you have ever used YouTube or Spotify, right? Probably you have, right? In YouTube or in Spotify, sometimes you are playing music, right? For example, I'm going to open my Spotify for you. I think I have a Spotify right here, yes. Let's see, because I want that you can see something right here. Creo que el detalle es que aquí lo tengo en español and my cell phone is in English. But let me just check something, okay? So this is the word that we were saying, right? The pronunciation of this is just as you pronounce the letter Q, ¿verdad? Cuando uno pronuncia la letra como tal, for example, you pronounce T, S, R, right? And you can pronounce also Q. It's the same pronunciation right here. And I'm going to tell you what Q is, right? If you choose a song, right? Let's say that you have this song right here. And you want to add it to your queue. I'm sorry, let me check. Agregar a la fila de reproducción, right? So you're playing a song and the next song it's going to be this one. Entonces, aquí en inglés es agregar a la, en español agregar a la fila de reproducción. But in English is add to the queue, agregarla a la fila. Okay, so basically queue is fila. You are going to see this term in YouTube or in Spotify whenever you are using English. So now you know, okay? Queue. Let's see. Jose Velasco, can you please read the next one?
Next day, I read the story in a newspaper. Miss, by the way, no sé cómo será esto en inglés, pero tengo un dolor de muela, o sea, no puedo abrir mucho tiempo la boca por si acaso. Entonces eso.
Okay, thank
Entonces
you for
Ah, pues estoy así acostado, porque en
I
serio,
was about to say something about you and the pillow, right? But thank you for letting me know. Look, if you
no,
are,
igual.
no, do not worry. So if you want to, you can turn off your camera. So you can be still in class, but you can turn off your camera because if you are with tooth age, I know what that feels like, okay? So you can turn off your camera. Do not worry, Jose, okay?
Many thanks.
Okay. Now, Maria de los Ángeles Cedeño, can you please read the next one? Take a look that right here we have the word Q once again. Okay, go ahead, Maria de los Ángeles.
When the second man went in front of me, I told him to go and stand in quick for bus.
In the queue, in the queue.
Queue for bus.
I remember that my nephew, I have a 14 years old nephew, right? Yo tengo un sobrino de 14 años, but when he was like 7 years old, cuando tenía 7 años, he pronounced this as cuecue. So, you know, there's like worse ways to pronounce this. So it's no cuecue, it's Q, just like the letter Q, like this one right here. Just try to remember that. Now, let's go to the next one. Giancarlo Perez, can you please read the next one?
A few seconds later, the first policeman got off the bus with a man.
Thank you, Giancarlo. Next one, Maylin Lopez, can you please go with the next one?
Yeah, Sunday, ¿cómo se pronuncia?
Stubbornly?
Yeah. A man ran in front of me and got off the bus.
Thank you very much, Maylin. And finally, I'm going to ask Wilmer Miranda, the last one.
After that, a police car came and took the man away.
Okay, thank you, Wilmer. Okay, so I'm going to add this right here, okay? Remember that the pronunciation of this is Q, right? Q, just like the letter Q in English. Just like the letter Q in English, okay? Now, the pronunciation of this, suddenly, right? It's then, okay? Suddenly. And this one right here, Q. So let me highlight this. Now, I'm going to give you 4 minutes so you can try to figure it out which one is the right order, okay? Just try to make it sense into the things that they are actually trying to say, okay? Let's have 4 minutes to do this and then we check the answer. Okay, guys, so let's check the answers, but before we do that, right, I'm going to tell you basically how to put the sentences in the right order. This is a pro tip, right? This is an advice that I have for you. So my suggestion is that you can focus on time markers, right? Time markers such as then, time markers such as one day, as finally, right? So you have to identify the time markers so you can know what's the sequence. Because if, for example, you have the word finally, right? This is basically telling you that the story is coming to the end. So usually, finally, it's the story coming to the end, right? So if you have one day, usually one day, it's the beginning of the story, right? For example, in the case of then usually means that it's a first event and then you have a sequence, right? So you need to, first of all, identify the time sequencers. Now, do I have any volunteer that would like to tell me which one do you think is the first one? Dayanara, which one do you think is the first sentence?
One day in 2011.
Correct, one day, right? This is basically means un día, right? It's like whenever you hear a story. Give me a second, guys.
The second.
Okay, so let's see who else. Let's go with Cristel Cepeda. What about number 2?
Number 2 is suddenly. A man
Correct.
came in front of me and got on the bus.
Correct. So this makes sense, right? First of all, we start the story. One day in 2011 or 2011, I was standing in the queue for a bus. So that is the beginning of the story. And then suddenly, ese evento que yo estaba contando se ve interrumpido. Suddenly, de repente, a man ran in front of me and got on the bus. Let's go with number 3, Jose Payasco.
Then another man tried to do same.
Correct. Then another man tried to do the same. So take a look. We have a man ran in front of me and got on the bus. Then another man, I'm talking about a man, and then another man tried to do the exact same thing that this man do, right? Now, let's go with Jose Velasco, number 4. Even Jose, with his toothache, he's right there. So great job, Jose.
Thanks, miss. While number 4 is when the second man went in front of me, I told him to go and stand in the queue for a bus.
Correct. So this is the sequence, right? We have 2 men now in the story. So when the second man went in front of me, that is the sequence. Great job, Jose. Let's go with the next one. Genesis Toledo, number 5, please.
He told me he was a policeman and they were looking for a thief.
A thief, yes.
A thief.
So thief is the kind of people that we have a lot of them in Ecuador, right? In Guayaquil especially. Ladrones, right? So thief, that is the meaning of this word, thief. And well, policemen, policías. Now, let's go with number 6, Michael Tigreros.
A few seconds later, the first policeman got off the bus with a man.
Correct. So this is the correct sequence because we're talking about the policeman, and then we're also talking about that the policeman got up with the bus with the man. So great job, Michael. And let's go with number 7, Lucila.
Wait. Okay. After that, a police car came and took the man away.
Correct. After that, the policeman came and took the men away. Remember, men, 2 men, and this one right here, it's man, only 1 man, right? Singular and plural. Great job, Lucila. And well, finally, we have number 8. I'm going to ask it to, let's see, Ronaldo Saraus, can you please read number 8?
Next day, I read the story in the newspaper.
Correct. So next day, I read the story in a newspaper. Newspaper, Telégrafo, El Universo, El Extra. That is newspaper, okay? Take a look on something. So we have newspaper, right? So newspaper, periódico. And the word news, noticias. So whenever you hear the word news, noticias. Newspaper, periódico. Makes sense, right? Because in the newspaper, we can read the news. So there you go. So great job, guys. So we are going to find these kind of activities in the final exam. So if you can do this, believe me that eventually you are going to be able to master the final quiz. Okay, actividades como estas son las que van a ver en el examen, muy similares. Y si están en capacidad, como puedo ver, de hacer estas oraciones, ponerlas en orden, lo van a hacer bastante bien. Now, let's see the next one. The next activity, it's going to be focused on the pronunciation. This one right here, okay? So take a look, first of all, on this text right here. So Camila, can you please read what we have right here in this text? We have a stress in 2-syllable words. Can you please read all of this?
Okay. Straight and do simply words. Approximately 80, no sé cómo se dice porcentaje.
Percentage.
Percentage of do savory words are staying on the first stable. Most do savory now and activities are staying on the first stable. Mother happy over however many to steady verbs and preposition or connect or are staying on the second savory array begin before.
Amazing, Camila. Thank you very much because I know that this is not an easy paragraph. So you did a really good job, okay? Thank you very much for that. So we have this first word, right? This first word, it's kind of, let's say, tricky, right? Whenever I say it's tricky, right? It's like, it's hard, right? It's difficult. So the pronunciation of this very first word, we have this one, right? So in this case, we have the stress on the second syllable, approximately, okay? So, take a look. Si en algún momento ustedes dicen, Miss, no sé cómo pronunciar una palabra, and it's kind of tricky, ¿verdad? You can always go to Google. You can always go to the internet. It's a really good tool for doing that. You can go to Google Translate. And right here, we're going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to change this to Spanish, right? So take a look on this speaker thing, right? Is that basically you can hear how to properly pronounce the word. Take a look.
Approximately.
Approximately, right? And right here, you have the option, learn to pronounce. And you have the phonetic pronunciation right here. Approximately. Approximately. So right there you have. Take a look.
Approximately.
And you can even make it slower.
Approximately.
Approximately. Approximately. I know it's a tricky word, but this is a really good way to know how to pronounce a word, okay? Now you know. Now, another thing that you have right here, it's 80% of two-syllable words. So we're talking about words as happy, one syllable, two syllable, right? As mother, we have two syllables. This is what we are referring. Palabras de dos sílabas, okay? Approximately 80% of two-syllable words are stressed on the final syllable. Aproximadamente un 80% de las palabras que tienen dos sílabas van a tener ese acento, ese estrés en la primera sílaba. 80%, la mayoría, no todas. Most two-syllable nouns and adjectives are stressed on the first syllable. La mayoría de los nouns, sustantivos, and adjetivos, are stressed on the first syllable. E.g. means example. Mother, first syllable. Happy, okay? So, first syllable. However, look, aquí tenemos otra palabra que la podemos sumar a estos conectores. However means that you want to make a contrast as well. Sin embargo, however, ¿verdad? Yo estoy como una excepción. Estoy diciendo que la mayoría de los nouns y adjectives de dos sílabas tienen en la primera sílaba su acento. Pero llega aquí las excepciones. However, many two-syllable verbs and prepositions or connectors are stressed on the second syllable. Cuando hablamos de verbos, preposiciones o conectores, hay la mayoría que están con su estrés en la second syllable. Arrive, verbo. Behind, preposition. Before, connector. Okay? Once again, guys, this is only a general rule. I'm not telling you, hey, you need to memorize this. Esto es una regla general. No se la estoy mandando a memorizar. Simplemente la revisamos y mientras vamos practicando, you are going to learn about it, okay? So, let's see about this next activity. We have activity 2A. Choose the stressed syllable in these words from the story. So let's click on this activity right here. Mauricio, can you please read the instruction?
Use the stressed syllable in these words from the story.
Thank you very much, Mauricio. Great pronunciation, by the way. So we have all of these words, right? So I'm going to pronounce each of them for you, and you are going to tell me if the stress is in the first or in the second syllable. And remember, you can always use this as well. Let's say, for example, if you want to know how to pronounce this, you can go and you can across.
Across.
Across, right? You have the first one. Then you have the next one. After.
After.
After. So you need to try to get which one is the stress syllable. Let's continue with the next one. You have again.
Again.
Again. Okay, let's go with the next one. Along. Along.
Along.
Along. Let's go with the next one. We have all thought. All thought. I'm sorry. Let me even look. You can even say what you want to translate. All thought.
Although.
All thought, okay? Then you have awful. Awful.
Awful.
Awful. Then you have because. Because.
Because.
Next one. Birthday. Birthday.
Birthday. Birthday.
Birthday. Birthday. Have the next one. Evening. Evening.
Evening.
Evening. Let's go with the next one. Invite. Invite.
Invite.
The next one.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect. And we have the last one. Second. Second.
Second.
Okay. So as you can see, this is a really useful tool. Okay. It's not useful. It's not useful whenever you do this, right? No es útil esta herramienta cuando yo les digo, chicos, escriban un párrafo de 200 palabras and you go. Cuando era chiquito, era bonito. Right? So, right, in this case, it's not useful. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I've been in this road, I've been a teacher for many years. I can know whenever you are using this. So I don't recommend that you use Google Translate to each word of your paragraph. You can just go to Google and consult and to ask Google how to say a word, but don't translate the whole thing. ¿Verdad? Ya he estado algunos años como profesora y la experiencia me ha permitido reconocer cuando se utilizan, ¿verdad? En manera completa para traducir un párrafo. No es recomendado. Primero, me doy cuenta. Segundo, se están haciendo un daño ustedes. Y tercero, Google, por más útil que sea, todavía no tiene la inteligencia de traducir en el contexto que ustedes están diciendo. Yo siempre les traigo esta historia. En un momento, en un curso, les mandé a escribir a los estudiantes sobre un punto turístico que hayan visitado. ¿Right? Y la chica, creo que fue una chica, escribió la Virgen del Panecillo. Right? So she got this. The Virgin, in that case, she got the Virgin of the Pancake. Right? So I know that this is not correct because you cannot translate La Virgen del Panecillo. La Virgen del Panecillo es el nombre turístico, el nombre de tal monumento, ¿verdad? Y con ese nombre se queda, yo no tengo que traducirlo. Entonces yo ahí me voy dando cuenta que han utilizado el traductor. It's not, I don't recommend that, okay? So let's go back to the pronunciation. Okay, so let's go with the first one. If you have the answer, please raise your hand. Remember, you can make a mistake. It's not that you have to get all of the right answers. We have the first one, across, across. If you have the answer, which one is the stress syllable? The first one or the second one? Number one or number two? Any volunteer? Alison Toala, number one or number two?
It's number 2.
Number two, correct. Can you please read the word?
Yes. Across.
Across, right? Across, because the stress syllable, it's right here. Great job. Thank you very much, Alison. We have the next one, right? Fíjense en algo. Recuerden lo que decía aquí, ¿verdad? However, many two-syllable verbs and prepositions or connectors are stressed on the second syllable. Esto de aquí, que vemos aquí, across, es una preposition. Entonces cumple esta regla, ¿verdad? Que tiene su acento en la segunda sílaba. Let's go with the second one. We have after. After. So any volunteer for this one? Rosa Kunishpuma, number one or number two?
Number 1.
Number one, great job. Rosa, can you please read the word?
After.
After, great pronunciation. Amazing job, Rosa. Thank you. David Carvajal, what about the third one? We have again, again, one or two?
Number 2.
Yes, great catch, David. Can you please read the whole word?
Again.
Again, correct. David, I noticed that you joined the session at 10 p.m. So you already have your attendance on the second hour, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we were right here, right? Carvajal, you were not on the first hour, but right now you are on the second. I appreciate it. Let's go with the next one. We have, listen, along, along. Which one do you think is the stress syllable? Number one or number two? Number two. Who was that?
Jose.
Jose. Thank you, Jose. So yes, it's number two, along. Okay, let's go with number three. Of thought. Of thought. Okay, of thought. So remember that if you have trouble into properly hear how to pronounce this, you can always go to here. I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to refresh this. Okay, there we go.
Although.
Right? Although, and you can actually go take a look on how to pronounce it. And notice that Google, it's right making this bold, right? Lo está poniendo en negrita. Although, although. So which one do you think is the correct answer right here? First one or second one?
Second one.
Second one, correct, Rosa. So we have although. There you go. Now, let's go with the next one. We have awful. We don't say awful, no. Awful. So let's see. Well, all of you have been participating. I'm just going to choose Jose. Jose, which one do you think it is? Number 1 or number 2?
Number 1.
Correct. Can you please read the whole word, Jose?
Awful.
Awful, correct. Great job, Jose. Now, let's go with the next one. We have because. Because. Okay, Wilmer Miranda, number 1 or number 2?
Number 2.
Yes, can you please read the word?
Because.
Because, correct. Thank you, Wilmer. Let's go with the next one. In this case, we have a noun. A noun. Remember the rule. 80% of the 2-syllable words are stressed on the first syllable. Most of the nouns and adjectives. This one, it's a noun. So we have birthday, birthday. So Cristel Cepeda.
First. The first.
The first one, correct. Great job, Cristel, thank you. I think that you were asking the question before I even say your name, so I can tell that we are connected, Cristel. Thank you very much. Let's go with the next one, Dayanara. We have evening. Evening. First one or second one?
First one.
First one, correct. Evening. Remember that whenever we're saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, right? Buenas noches, evening. Let's go with the next one. We have invite. Invite. So which one do you think is the correct answer? Luis Echeverria.
In.
I mean, I can tell that it's kind of tricky, but in this case, it's bite, okay? Yes, so remember that this is only practice. La diferencia aquí es muy sutil, entonces por eso puede ser la confusión, right? Take a look.
Invite.
Invite, right?
Invite.
Let's see if
Invite.
we'll translate. We can say how to pronounce.
Invite. Invite.
I don't get like the actual pronunciation. But okay, it's not that difficult, but let's remember that is in the second syllable. Invite, right? Alan, what about the next one? Perfect.
One. One.
Correct. Can you please pronounce the whole word?
Perfect.
Correct. Perfect. Thank you, Alan. And we have the last one. We have second. Second. Okay, Mylene, which one do you think is the correct answer? Remember, Mylene, this is a noun. Esto es un sustantivo, second. So remember that the rule says that most of the nouns are going to be on the first syllable. So which one do you think is the correct answer? 1 or 2?
Two.
It's number 1, actually. Second, okay, second. Thank you, Mylene. So there you have the answers, guys. Remember, this is about pronunciation, right? I'm sorry, this is about practice. It's not that you are going to become an expert right now, so take it easy. Now, do not forget to save your activity, so we can move on into the next one. And the next activity, it's going to be related to verb phrases. Remember that I told you that verb phrases are phrases that basically are common and you have to use a verb, such as play video games, listen music, read a book, okay? So let's take a look on this activity. 3A, make verb phrases with a verb. Okay, so right here you have all of these verbs. You have wait, listen to the pronunciation, okay? Wait, be, have, give, meet, right? This is in infinitive. That's why the pronunciation is meet. Take, play, no room, run, run, leave, live, drive, drive, okay? So right here you have all of these phrases and you need to match each of these phrases with a verb. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do this and then we check your answers. Okay, guys, let's check your answers. Okay, let's see the first one. We have the phrase a wonderful evening. So which one do you think is the verb that match with that phrase? Any volunteer for that? Please raise your hand if you may have the answer for the first one. Daniela Viteri.
Have a wonderful evening.
Correct. Have a wonderful evening. So usually, whenever you are leaving a store or if you are saying hi to somebody and then you say goodbye, a really common way to say goodbye is saying have a good day, have a great day, or of course, you can also say have a good, well, in this case, it's wonderful evening, right? So have a good day, ten un buen día. Have a great day, ten un grandioso día. Have a wonderful evening, ten una maravillosa noche. Sometimes they can even make it shorter. A veces se lo hacen mucho más corto y es un inglés más nativo, más informal. And they say this, have a great one. Okay, have a great one or have a good one. Okay, it's basically the same thing, but you are not specifying day, afternoon, evening. You are just saying have a great one, have a good one, have a wonderful one. Okay, you can also say it like this. Now, let's go with the next one. Thank you, Daniela. Let's go with Luis Echeverria. What about the second one? We have along the high street, also in a hurry. So I don't know if probably along, this is
Drive.
yes, correct. Thank you very much. So let's say that the expression along the high street, right? Remember that along means como que a través, right? Drive along the high street, also in a hurry. So let's go with the next one. In a coffee bar, Alan Acuña. Which one do you think it is? So we're talking about a coffee bar, just as, for example, Sweet and Coffee, Juan Valdez, right? So, look, aquí recordemos que ahí podría haber algunas respuestas tentativas, ¿verdad? Por ejemplo, yo podría decir play in a coffee bar, que no estaría mal gramaticalmente, pero uno como que en un coffee bar no va a jugar, ¿verdad? O no va a tocar. So, it's not adequate. Same thing with run in a coffee bar. A la final, sí, yo también gramaticalmente y de manera física, yo puedo correr en Juan Valdez o en Sweet and Coffee, pero esta de aquí, recordemos que como tenemos espacios y para cada espacio es una sola palabra, run va mejor en otra frase, play va mejor en otra frase. Lo mismo, por ejemplo, wait in a coffee bar también tendría mucho sentido, pero en este caso hay otra que le hace mejor referencia, porque wait en este caso va en wait somebody to a restaurant. Okay, entonces te pregunto acá, Luis, which one do you think could be the adequate one? If anybody wants to help Luis, go ahead. If anybody else have the answer, please let me know. What do you think about this? Mauricio.
Meat.
Correct. Meet in a coffee bar. So once again, guys, like if I'm saying in terms of grammar, you can say play in a coffee bar, run in a coffee bar, wait in a coffee bar. But since we need to complete each gap with only one possible answer, we need to see which one makes sense, right? Tenemos ciertos espacios para ciertas palabras. Gramaticalmente podemos poner varias opciones, pero tenemos que ver las que más se adecúen al contexto. Okay? Now, we have the next one. Thank you, Mauricio, for that. Somebody, your email address or phone number. So, right here, what's the correct verb? Cristel Cepeda.
Give.
Correct. Give somebody your email address or your phone number, right? You give somebody that. Amazing. So we already have wait somebody to a restaurant, and then we can go to the next one. Let's see. Dalton Moreno, for somebody. I'm sorry. This one is incorrect because this one is wait. I'm sorry, my mistake. Is take somebody to a restaurant and wait for somebody in a restaurant. Dalton, the next one, please. In a hurry.
Room.
I mean, makes sense, yes, but it's not wrong, okay? Try with another one. So the possible answers are, you can either go with be, you can either go with play, you can either work with leave, or, well, run is not on the table. So it's be, it's play, or it's live. Which one do you think makes sense, Dalton?
Be.
Correct. Be in a hurry, right? It's like a state of being like really on a rush. Be in a hurry. Estar en un apuro, estar apurado, estar así como atufado, right? Let's go with the next one. Dayanara.
Play.
Correct. Play a song. So that's the thing I was telling you about, right? I could either say play in a coffee bar, ¿verdad? Tocar un instrumento en un coffee bar. Yes, makes sense. But it's better to match it with play a song. Let's go with Alison Toala, the next one.
Leave.
Correct. Leave the club very late, also in a hurry. And of course, we have the last one that in this case is wrong. Okay, so please, guys, save the activity so we can move to the next. Okay, so now we are done with Unit 2C, and we are going to move on into Unit 3A. This one right here. 3A. So in order to do this, let's see what's the deal with Unit 3A. So, Iskra Bermudez. Iskra, can you please read the title of the Unit 3A?
Yes, plans and dreams.
Thank you, Iskra. So right there you have it. So Jair Alvarado, can you please read this first bubble? Jair?
Listo, pensé que se había escuchado. Disculpe.
No, go ahead.
What are you going to do there?
Correct. Thank you, Jair. Now, I'm going to ask Valeria Kishpi, can you please read the answer to this question? The white bubble.
I'm going to teach English.
Correct. Thank you very much, Valeria. So right here, we are going to cover, just as you are seeing in the question and in this sentence, we are going to cover into the grammar section the use of be plus going to for plans and predictions. So basically, we are going to move into the future tense, el tiempo futuro. Into the vocabulary section, we will cover airports, and in the pronunciation section, sentence stress and fast speech. So let's see. We have this first question, right? Take a look. I'm sorry, my mistake. This is way too zoom in. Take a look on this question, analyze it, and try to find an answer for it. When was the last time you were at an airport? Okay. When was the last time you were on an airport? So it was 2 years ago, it was yesterday, it was on December. So anybody would like to tell me when was the last time that you were in an airport? I'm going to tell you a possible way on how to answer this, okay? So we have this question. When was the last time you were on okay, let me check what's the exact question. One was at an airport. Okay, yes. At an airport. So remember that an airport is Jose Joaquin de Olmedo. That is Guayaquil's airport, right? That is Guayaquil's. You also have, well, it's used to be Mariscal Sucre. You also have Miami International Airport and so on, right? So when was the last time that you were at an airport? Anybody right here in this Zoom session has been in an airport before? Not necessarily that you travel, but probably you were saying bye to a relative or you were dropping somebody off. Anybody? No? Okay, but remember, we have the word airport, right? So Guayaquil's airport, it's Jose Joaquin de Olmedo. So we're going to check vocabulary related to airports. That is the very first activity that we are going to do right here. Right here you have the same question that I was sharing with you, okay? So I'm going to tell you my answer. The last time I was at an airport was yesterday, right? Because I was traveling from Orlando, Florida to New York. Right now, I'm not in Guayaquil, I'm at New York, right? I'm coming back to Ecuador next day, right? Tomorrow. So that's the last time I was at an airport. So that was my answer. Now let's see. Oh, I think I closed the Moodle. Let me reopen it. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so let's see this first activity, okay? We have activity 1B. Remember, we are on unit 3A. Look at the airport signs and match them to the words and phrases below. The word below means abajo, right? Let me change the time right here so you can have more time to do this activity. Okay, so all of these are airport signs, right? You can also have, for example, a stop signs. This is a stop sign. Okay, this is the stop sign whenever you are driving and you need to stop, right? But in this case, these signs are related to the airport. So take a look. All of these are the signs. You have 1 until 12. And right here, you have the phrases. So the possible phrases are arrivals, arrivals. So arrivals is when somebody is coming to Guayaquil, right? They are arriving to Guayaquil. Arrivals, llegadas. Baggage drop off. Baggage drop off. It's when you are already in the counter and you need to deliver the baggage to somebody else. Baggage drop off. Como que la dejada del equipaje. Cuando ustedes llegan con el equipaje, van al counter y dicen, ah, ok, aquí los dejan y ya los suben en el avión. Baggage drop off. Baggage reclaim. Now you have arrived to your destiny. So you have to get your baggage. So baggage reclaim es cuando recogen el equipaje. Check in, right? Check in. Hacer el chequeo inicial. Customs. Customs. Aduanas. Departures. Departures is the opposite of arrivals, right? Arrivals, somebody comes to Guayaquil, right? They are arriving to Guayaquil. And departures, it's when somebody is leaving Guayaquil. Gates. Gates. Remember that we already covered this? Gates, it's similar to doors. Doors and gates are similar, right? But gates, it's the term used in airports, in terminals, okay? So gates. Then we have lifts. Lifts. Lifts, it's the exact same thing. As elevators, right? Lifts, British English, and elevators, American English. Okay, but they are the exact same thing. Passport control. Passport. In Spanish is pasaporte, right? But listen to the pronunciation right here. Passport, no passport, no. Passport, only 2 syllables. Passport, control. Terminal, terminal is in Spanish, but in English, terminal. The stress goes in the first syllable. Toilets, toilets, restrooms, right? Bathroom. And trolley, trolley. Trolley, it's basically like a car, the one that you push around, okay? So right here, you have all of these words and phrases, so you need to match them with this. Notice, guys, for example, right here, you have baggage, that they are lifting the baggage, and in this case, they are dropping the baggage, okay? So always also notice that right here, the airplane, it's leaving, and right here, the airplane, it's landing. So notice all of these facts and all of these details so you can match the words with the picture, okay? I'm going to give you 4 minutes to do this, and then we check your answers. Okay, guys, let's check your answers. So we have the first one. We have arrivals. So do I have any volunteer that would like to tell me which one is the matching picture? John Navas.
Number 3.
Correct. Number 3, and this is a great catch because look, in number 2, we also have a plane, right? But in this case, the plane it's leaving, right? In this case, the plane it's arriving, it's landing. So great catch, John. Number, well, the next one, we have baggage drop-off. What about this one, Jose?
Number 7.
Number 7, correct. So, Jose, can you please read the expression?
Baggage, pardon, sorry. Baggage drop off.
Correct. Thank you very much, Jose. Jose Payasco, what about the next one?
Number 1.
Number 1, can you please read the term, Jose?
Baggage reclaim.
Correct. Baggage reclaim. Amazing. Thank you, Jose. Let's go with the next one. Alison.
Number 9.
Number 9, can you please read the word?
Check-in.
Check-in, right? Great job. Thank you very much. Cristel, the next one.
Number 8.
Customs. There you go. Amazing, Cristel. Thank you. Next one, Angeles.
Number 2.
Correct. Can you please read the word?
Departures.
Departures. Great pronunciation. Thank you, Angeles. So we have departures. Let's go with the next one. Any other volunteer? Camila, the next one, please.
11.
11, correct. And can you please read the word?
Gate.
Gates, correct. Great pronunciation. Thank you, Camila. Wilmer Miranda, the next one.
Number 5.
Correct. Please read the word.
Lift.
Lives, correct. Thank you, Wilmer. Maylene Lopez, next one, please.
Number 10.
Correct. Read the term, please.
Passport control.
Yeah, great pronunciation. Notice that Maylene is not saying passport. No, passport control. Only 2 words. Great catch, Maylene. Let's see. Jellyberry Cruz, next one, please.
Number 4.
Number 4, please read the word.
Terminal.
Terminal, great pronunciation. Thank you, Jellyber Dayanara. The next one, please.
Twelve.
12, can you please read the word?
Toilets.
Toilets, correct. Thank you. And let's see, Rosa Kunishpuma, the last one, please.
Number 6.
Correct.
Toilet.
There you go. Thank you very much. So please, guys, save the activity, okay? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so right now I'm going to ask for your full attention, right? Because we are going to cover the following topic, okay? We are going to cover the use of be going to. This is the topic that we are about to cover, okay? So, before we start with this, let me tell you something, right? In English, we have three basic tenses. We have past tense, present tense, and future tense, right? So present, we have already covered this, and I told you that it's for present, is for routines, habits, and facts, right? In the case of past, for completed events. And in the case of future, that is the one that we are about to cover, it's for plans, for predictions, or for any other thing that it's going to happen, not now, but the 2 minutes for now, 5 minutes for now, tomorrow, the next day, right? So that is whenever we are going to use be going to. And for example, if you want to say what it's going to be to your profession when you graduate, right? For example, you are dreaming about what is going to be about your job, right? You can say, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a doctor next year. Let's say that you are this close to end with the university. So you said, Miss, I have great news. I'm going to be a doctor next year, right? Or let's say that you want to tell me about a more basic thing. I ask you, what are you going to have to eat for lunch, right? What are you going to eat for lunch? You can say, I'm going to eat seco de pollo for lunch, right? Look, we are talking about next year, like 36, 37, and I mean, like 1 year from now, right? And right here, we're talking about lunch, ¿verdad? Aquí yo estoy hablando de aquí a 1 año, que es muchísimo tiempo, pero aquí yo estoy hablando de lo que voy a comer en media hora, en 1 hora, ¿verdad? Pero sigue siendo el futuro. So for this kind of plans, right? Plans or predictions, you can use be going to. Let's see, right? Whenever we want to use simple future, we can either use 3 different formats. ¿Verdad? Podemos utilizar 3 formatos diferentes. We can use the auxiliary will plus the verb, and right here you have an example. I will do my homework tomorrow. This is future. You can either use the structure of be going to plus verb and go, and you have an example right here. I'm going to clean my house at 4. Voy a limpiar mi casa a las 4. And you can also use the verb to be plus ing plus verb. I'm taking my dog for a walk after lunch. Yo voy a sacar a mi perro por darle una caminata después del lunch. Cualquiera de estas estructuras yo puedo utilizar para referirme al futuro simple. Sin embargo, right now, we are going to focus on this one right here. Nos vamos a enfocar solamente en esta estructura, ¿ok? No se confundan cuando vean que dice be going to plus verb. Este be se refiere al verbo to be, ¿verdad? Que podría ser I am, you are, he is, she is, ¿verdad? Y de ahí viene acompañado por el going to y luego el verbo principal. Yo no sé si ustedes se han fijado o me han escuchado que cuando yo les estoy hablando, yo les digo, guys, today we are going to cover unit 2. For example, I say this. Give me a second, I need to make this, there we go. Usually I say this, guys, today we are going to cover unit 3C, right? I usually tell you this in each class. This is something that I usually tell you, guys, right? Chicos, today we are going to cover unit 3C. And this is my plan, right? This is the plan I have for today's class. Este es el plan que yo tengo para la clase de hoy. So that's why I use this kind of a structure. You have the pronoun we, porque digo nosotros, me incluyo, are, verb to be, that belongs to we, y esto no se mueve. Going to, el going to equivale a vamos a, right? Y aquí yo utilizo un verbo en infinitivo, es decir, su forma base, la forma B1, cover, cubrir. Guys, today we are going to cover Unit C. This is my plan, okay? So this is a good example that I can tell you different situations. When do we use be going to? So right here we use going to for intention. Whenever we have intention to do something. Valeria, can you please read the description of going to for intention?
We use going to when we have the intention to do something before we speak. We have already made a decision before speaking. Look at these examples.
Thank you very much. So right here we have some examples, right? I got some extra money, so I'm going to pay my bills tomorrow. This is the intention I have. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my bill tomorrow, but this is the intention. We are not going to paint our bedroom tomorrow. This is my intention. Probably I will paint it, but I'm not sure. Where are you going to on holiday? So what's your intention to travel on holiday? Entonces, todo esto es para intención. Yo tengo todas las intenciones de hacerlo. A la final, ¿lo termino haciendo o no? Pero tengo la intención, right? So, once again, my intention today is that we are going to understand the use of be going to. That is my intention. That is Miss Andrea's intention today, right? We are going to understand the use of be going to. Now, we can also use going for predictions, right? Prediction is something that I think is going to happen. I'm not 100% sure, but that is my prediction. Giancarlo Perez, can you please read the definition of going to for prediction?
We often use going to make a prediction about the future, or predict is present evidence. We are saying what we think will happen. Here are some examples.
Thank you, Giancarlo. So again, this is something that we think that happened in the future. We are not 100% sure. So let's take a look on this first example. Okay, I'm gonna delete this because Ecuador is not longer playing, but let's go with this one. The sky is very black. It's going to rain, ¿verdad? Cuando yo veo que las nubes están negras, el cielo se oscurece, mi predicción es de que va a llover. Esa es mi predicción. Puede ser que, ok, esté todo oscuro, pero se comience a aclarar todo y salga hasta el sol y no llueve nada. Pero esa era mi predicción, era lo que yo creía. It's 8:30. You are going to miss your train. ¿Verdad? Yo te estoy prediciendo que, mira qué hora es y no te has ido, vas a perder el tren. You are going to miss the train. A la final lo pierdes, sí, o a la final el tren también se atrasó y no lo pierdes. But that is my prediction. You study really hard. You are going to pass the exam. Yo creo que como te vi quemándote las pestañas, estudiaste súper fuerte, tú vas a pasar el examen. That is my prediction. A la final se te borra y te quedas en blanco y no lo pasas, but my prediction is that you are going to pass the exam. Okay, so my 3C students are trying really hard. They are going to pass level 3. That is my prediction, right? Because all of you guys are trying really hard. You are participating, right? And the evidence said that you guys are going to pass level 3. That is my prediction. Now, what's the structure right here? As you can see, you have the subject, right? You can either use I, you, Martina, Roberta, Zoila, Marta, Jose, he, she, they, any of those kind of subjects. And then you need to choose the correct verb to be. You can either use am for I am. You can either use is for he, she, and it, and are for you, they, and we. We already know this, right? But anyway, I'm going to once again repeat it for you because sometimes we forgot this kind of things, right? With I, you use am. With you, you use are. With he, is, we, they. Okay, so right here you have the pronoun, right?
Is.
Yes. Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me know, my mistake. So right there, thank you, Giselle, for letting me know that I was adding that incorrectly. So right here, I am, you are, we are, they are. Remember that you also have personal pronouns, ¿verdad? También están los pronombres personales, que es lo que se refiere a esto indirectamente. Por ejemplo, yo puedo decir, Cristel and I, right? Me estoy incluyendo. Entonces, como me incluyo, I'm referring to this. Or I can say Cristel and Rosa. So I'm talking about they. So in this case, I will say Cristel and Rosa are. Right? Same thing right here. If I say Matthew, I'm going to be using is as well, okay? You're leaving? So this is the structure. You go with the subject, then you go with the verb to be, the adequate verb to be, the correct one, then going to, and after that, the verb-based form. El verbo en su forma base, en la forma B1, el infinitivo. Sin S, sin ED, sin ING. The base form, tal cual el verbo. So let's see right here some of the examples. Take a look. You have, I am going to study math. You are going to study math. He is, and so on. And take a look. Of course, we can do contractions. So instead of saying, I am going to study math, I can say, I'm going to study math. You can say instead of you are, you're going. He is, he's going. She is, she's, and so on. That is in the affirmative way. Now, in the negative way, we are going to use the verb to be plus not. I'm not going to study math. You are not going to study math. And you can also do the contractions. I'm not going to study math. You are not going to study math. Or you can also do this. You aren't going to study math. Okay, notice that you can either do the contraction right here or you can do the contraction right here, ¿verdad? Pueden contraer ya sea el sujeto o pueden contraer de el verbo to be y el not. Okay, cualquiera de las dos maneras es válida. So for example, you can say he isn't going to study math, right? And so on. So both of the ways are correct. And for the question, you start with the verb to be, then the subject, then the going to, the verb, and the complement. And in this case, if you have a question word, the question word, as usual, go first. I'm going to study math. Or you can either say, what are you going to eat tomorrow? Where is he going to live next year? Okay. Fíjense que como en todos los tiempos, también tenemos time expressions que nosotros podemos decir, ah, esto es para el futuro. Por ejemplo, cuando hablamos de present, time expressions, usually, sometimes, often. In past tense, we have, anybody remember what time expressions do we have for past tense?
Last year, last month.
Correct. Last year, last day, last week. And you also have yesterday. You can also say a week ago, a day ago, right? And so on. Right here with future or we're going to, we have expressions such as tomorrow. We have expression as next year. You have expression as next day, as later, right? As the day after, right? Everything that is not at this moment, but any time at the future, you go with this. Futuro es a la, mire, son 11:43. Futuro es 11:44. Sigue siendo futuro, right? Any time that is not right here, but is in the future, we use it with this kind of a structure. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to our Moodle platform, okay? And right here, we are going to skip all of this and take a look. Right here, you also have an explanation. You can read this later, but right now we are going to complete Grammar Bank 1A. Complete with going to plus a verb. So whenever you see this, you pronounce it plus, okay? Plus, plus. So complete with going to plus verb. So right here you have an example. What films are you going to see tonight? So see, it's already taken, right? You have to complete with the verb to be plus the verb that you think it's the appropriate one, right? And depending on the sentence. So I'm going to give you 4 minutes to do this, and then we check the answers. Remember, first of all, this is a new topic, so you are allowed to make mistakes. If you are not understanding this, let me know. I can explain you, okay? Second, you can go to your class notes and you can check how to form and how to structure each of the subjects and depending on the pronoun. Okay, so let's have 4 minutes to do this. you guys. So let's check your answers for the activity. Do I have any volunteer for number 1? We have your sister Chinese. Chinese, remember that Chinese can be Chinese food, can be also a language. So Ivan Ganchoso, how would you do number 1?
Is your sister going to learn Chinese?
Correct. Is your sister going to learn? In this case, the verb is learn. Great catch, Ivan. What about number 2, Jose? Jose Payasco.
You're going to be in class 3 next year.
Correct. You're going to be great catch. This was not an easy one. So great job, Jose. So you're going to be in class 3 next year. Notice that right here, we have the apostrophe. So this needs to be contraction. Number 3, we have the next one. Any volunteer for number 3? Ileana Garcia, how would you do number 3?
We're not going to go.
Correct, great catch. This is negative. We are not going to go camping next summer. Thank you, Liana. Great catch. Let's see. Paulo Zambrano. What about, okay, take a look. This is the exact same thing as number 3. It's the same one. We are not going to go camping next summer. And right here, we are the thing that we actually going to do. So what's the answer right here, Paulo, according to you?
Aren't.
Okay. Okay, Paulo, listen something, okay? We're saying that we are not going camping next summer. Camping is when you go to the woods, right? Camping is acampar. So we are not going to do that. Instead, en lugar de eso, this is something that you are going to do, right? So which of these verbs do you think?
Aren't stay.
We are correct. We are going to
stay.
Correct. We are going to stay in a hotel, ¿verdad? No vamos a acampar, pero nos vamos a quedar en un hotel. Thank you, Paulo. Let's go with number 4. Saray Cerezo, how would you do number 4?
We
Okay.
going to airport.
Okay, but going to, we need a verb.
Yeah, learn.
Learn, it's already right here. Look, the possible options are get, cook.
Stay.
Mira, ya están todas esas y solamente una. Listen to the options left. You can either go with get, you can either go with cook, you can either go with not listen, or you can either go with do.
Do.
Ok, es que ya veo, esta está mal puesta, sí, ahí veo confusión, sí, está mal puesta, ok. Permítanme un segundo. Déjenme ponerla acá porque puede causar confusión en ustedes. So, la respuesta es, we are going to get a taxi to the airport. Vamos a conseguir un taxi para el aeropuerto. Ahora veo la confusión aquí. Mil disculpas, Saray, por eso. En todo caso,
Ok, Miss, está bien.
sí, en todo caso, pónganle, we are to get, ¿ok? Porque eso es lo correcto a pesar de que aquí ya está la respuesta, ¿ok? Ahora, Dayanara, voy a la sexta contigo, ya ahorita nuevamente Saray. let's go and let's do number 5. Okay, we have the options cook, we have the options not listen, and we have the option do. How would you do number 5? The word meal significa comida, right? So we have meal. Which one is the most related word? Okay, Sarai, first of all.
Okay, Miss. Going to.
I'm going to. What else? What's the verb?
El verbo
These are the options left. We have cook, we have not listen, and we have also the option do.
Put.
Yes, correct. We are not, I'm sorry, I'm going to cook a wonderful meal tonight, okay? Sarai,
okay.
the pronunciation of this, right? It's am. I'm going to cook, right? Am. Okay, no am, am. Okay?
Oh, okay, Miss. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Sarai. Now, Dayanara, what about number 6?
You can tell, but I'm not going to listen to you.
Correct. I'm not going to listen to you. Correct. Great catch, Sarai. And we have the last one. And notice that right here, we have one with a question word. So probably we will need to use something similar to this structure. We need to place, first of all, the question word and then the verb to be. So how would you do this one, David Carvajal? Yes, what else? You going to? And what's the verb? The only one left, this one right here. What are you going to do when you leave schools? Okay. So please notice, guys, there is a mistake right here. Sometimes these things happen, right? Whenever we deal with technology, mistakes happen. So do not worry, and I apologize for this. ¿Verdad? Cuando manejamos tecnología, los errores pueden suceder. Entonces les pido mil disculpas por aquí. A la final pudieron haberse confundido. ¿Verdad? A mí me confundió, me quedé como de qué está hablando. But in any case, these are the answers. Remember that you have 2 attempts in case that you make a mistake on the first one. So do not forget to save your activity. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna tell you what we are going to do, okay? So I don't know if you guys noticed, but you didn't have any break today, ¿verdad? No les he dado ningún break because we are going to finish with the class earlier. And while I'm doing this, okay, I'm going to tell you why. First of all, let me tell you that you need to develop an activity. Okay, what's the activity? Please pay attention, pay the whole attention, okay? So right here you have unit 3A, right? You go and you scroll down. We develop this activity right here, and you develop this activity right here. You are going to go to the very end, and you are going to click into this activity right here. Going to worksheet, okay? Click right here. And you are going to find this file, this Word file. It's not a big deal. I'm going to show you what's this file about. Okay, so right here you have some content, so you can basically practice this tense and this structure that we just learned a few minutes ago. So you will need to fill the blanks below, right? So all of these gaps. So, well, this is not the one. I need to change it. I'm sorry, because this has the word key already. Right? Pero básicamente ustedes tienen que llenar estos espacios. Simplemente para practicar lo que hemos hecho el día de hoy. This is the worksheet that you will need to do. Okay? Give me a second because I need to check if I upload the correct one. No, this is not the correct one. I need to change this. Give me a second. Okay. Y también les estoy dando tiempo extra, ¿verdad? Para que puedan primero culminar la actividad que a la final no culminaron en un inicio, ¿verdad? La que les di más tiempo para que la puedan hacer. Eso, para que hagan eso. Y también, por favor, para que adelanten su Alticia, ¿ok? That's why we are almost closing the class 1 hour before the usual hour, so you can have some extra time and not excuses into fulfilling and completing all of the remaining activities, ¿ok? Para que, por favor, puedan completar tanto la actividad que se dejó en un inicio la semana pasada y algunas personas por descuido, confusión, a la final no las pudieron completar. Tienen tiempo para eso, tienen tiempo para avanzar en Alticia y también para trabajar en esta hoja que les he puesto dentro de la plataforma. Okay, so any questions about any of all the things that I have mentioned until this point? So everything is clear, Lucila?
Sí, mis gracias. Una pregunta es acerca de las actividades de las unidades que hemos visto. Hay algunas actividades de las unidades pasadas que no se ha trabajado. Esas no debemos completarla, ¿verdad?
No, solamente la que yo les diga, chicos, nos saltamos estas porque a pesar de que parezca que tenemos 4 horas diarias, 8 semanales y parezca bastante tiempo, no lo es. Entonces tengo que seleccionar las actividades que yo creo que mejor les va a servir para ustedes. Y por eso me salto algunas y no es que tienen que completarlas. No hay ningún problema.
Ok, gracias, Miss.
Una consulta. Yo unas actividades las completé, no sabía y las completé igual.
Grammar Bank 1A, Grammar Bank 1B, Vocabulary 3A, Vocabulary 3B, Vocabulary Bank 2A, y let me check if we develop this one. Ok, esta no hicimos. Esta 5D de listen no hicimos. Ahora, también hicimos de la 2A. Me parece que esto fue una clase anterior, pero se juntó con la unidad de acá. En todo caso, de la 2A, we have developed activity 4A, activity 4B, y del workbook yo les mandé a hacer unas. Ya te confirmo cuáles fueron. Ok. Chicos, ¿alguno de ustedes a la final me podría ayudar si les mandé a hacer actividades del 2A? Del workbook.
Yes, teacher.
Sí, nos envió.
Ok,
Creo que me envió todas.
¿envió todas? ¿Todas del 2A?
No, Miss,
Ok.
nos envió la 1A, 1D, en Grammar, sí nos mandó todo y de ahí ya nada más.
Ya, Génesis, lo que dicen tus compañeros, ¿verdad? En la unidad 2A, la que está oscurita, que es de Workbook, Vocabulary 1A, 1D, de gramática, todo. Y ya pronunciación no. ¿Ok? Igual, como te digo, sí te pido que si puedes, por favor, consultes con alguno de tus compañeros, porque no es que no te quiera ayudar, pero yo no le pongo a todas que se me registren. Entonces, no tengo exactamente una idea de cómo saber cuáles son las que sí realizamos y cuáles no. Así que ahí sí te voy a pedir, por favor, que puedas ayudar. Aquí veo que también
La de workbooks que acaba de decir, hasta 2 sí.
ya.
No, 2D no, era 2 A, B, C.
Ya, ahí están mandando tus compañeros también en el chat. Esto de acá se envió también en el grupo, me parece, ¿verdad? De WhatsApp,
No, entonces no está.
¿no?
Yes, ma'am.
Ok. Ok, Génesis.
Ya, listo, mis gracias.
Ok, Génesis. ¿Algo más que les pueda ayudar, chicos? Espero que a lo que terminemos esta clase se convierta sin problema la de aquí para poder
Miss,
seguir practicando. Sí, cuéntame, Cristel.
one question. Para contestar, yo contesto yes, he or she going to. Okay, yes.
Correcto. He's going to. He
Going to, hasta ahí. O sea, estoy ya independiente si es negativo o positivo, pero termino yes, he is going to.
Correcto. Sería como, ahí arriba, fíjate que está algo que se llama key, ¿verdad? Al inicio del
Ah, ya, ok, ok.
ahí
Ya,
te da
ya,
como.
ya. Ok, gracias. Thank you.
Igual esto lo vamos a seguir revisando. Okay, guys, any other questions that you may have before we go? Thank you to each of you that are sharing through the chat the activities that we were developing that day, okay? So, okay, guys, that will be it for today. Please don't forget to develop the activity, the worksheet. Don't forget to develop the activity, the ones that didn't deliver the activity at the very first place. And please make some progress on Artesia. Remember that you have until March 12th. Okay, March 12, marzo 12, to complete at least 50% of your Artesia platform. Okay, guys, So thank you very much for coming to the class. I see you on Thursday, okay? If you have any questions, let me know, and you can text me through the chat or through direct message. Have a great one. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Miss. Thank you.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, guys.
Miss.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.